Hey there YouTube, this is SJM4306 back with another review video. This time, I was kindly contacted by a company, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, Vankyo? Or Vankyo? Vankyo. I'm just going to call them that because it looks like that. They asked me if I wanted to review their newest Android TV box. And so yeah, they sent this in. This is their newest model. And it's the Matrix box, Entertainment Android TV box. I believe the model is, there we go. And as you can see, this is a model with 4 gigs and that's of RAM and 32 gigabytes ROM, which is basically your flash storage. So that's actually not too shabby for a Android TV box. And as we'll see, this is actually expandable to the hilt. So if you want to add a large thumb drive or SD card, you can. Anyway, I guess we can just take a quick look. Is there anything else on this box? It actually has a quad-core processor. Wow. Yeah, so this is, I believe, in their 4K range. So luckily, I just got a 4K TV. That'll be pretty interesting because I don't have any other 4K content devices. So this will be my first time seeing something natively 4K on my TV. And oh yeah, includes a host of things. We'll actually go inside and take a look at it. Doesn't have any hardware specifications, so I'm going to have to pull that up and we'll go through that. Anyway, just give this an open. Very nice presentation. I like the matte black box. And it's packed pretty well. Yeah, here we go. So it just opens pretty easily. And front and center, we are presented with the actual box itself. Wow. I was figuring, I guess it makes sense. I was figuring it was going to be bigger. For some reason, I thought it was larger, but this is tiny. Wow. I love these plastic bags, by the way. I always keep them. Wow. Okay, this is... So, you guys remember the PS2? The PlayStation 2, obviously, released by Sony. This design really reminds me of that in a very good way. I love the PS2 design. I love kind of this textured... It's matte on this side, and then there's sort of these raised textured bars, and it's glossy underneath. But I mean, my fingers are kind of a little oily. They're not really attracting oil on the glossy because it's actually lowered above the surface. I really like that design. That's really cool. Looks like there's some sort of display on the front. Probably some sort of clock or maybe some information scrolling across it as it's booting or something like that. Have their logo here. I guess it's supposed to go this way. Match the one on the box. And yeah, so here, all the ports. That's nice. We have USB 3.0, so that'll be really good. They're really cheap 3.0 drives that you can get now in large capacities. Has a micro SD card slot as well. So I'll probably end up sticking like a relatively small 32 gig micro SD and invest in like a relatively large, like 128, 256 gig USB 3 drive as a second 2.0 port, which will be nice if I need to plug in like a wireless keyboard or something like that, or a mouse. That'll be really nice for that. So I'm glad that they included 2 ports actually, because I have an Android projector and it only has 1 USB port, and I'm constantly switching devices. If I want to plug in a thumb drive, I can't use a wireless keyboard, and it's sort of a pain. Here we have composite audio. Interesting that they included that. I mean, I don't know anyone in 2019 that used composite because you're going to be using this with HDMI, especially this being a 4K TV box. You're going to want the best quality video out, obviously. As Ethernet input, as well as this has Wi-Fi, I think 2.4 and 5 gigahertz as well. So we're going to definitely test wireless. I don't run Ethernet in my house, unfortunately, for internet. Has optical audio. That's really cool, actually. So you can plug this into a sound system, like a stereo receiver. Here's the DC input jack. And yeah, nothing else. We have a lot of interesting design on the bottom. I guess this is all for cooling. These are all little holes. That's pretty cool. Little rubber feet so it doesn't slide around. It says it's 5 volts, 2 amps. Yep, 2.45 gigahertz. It's an AM Logic quad-core A53. And yeah, that's about it. We're actually just going to fire this guy up, I guess. I'm going to take you guys through the setup. Speed through it a bit because it's just basically Android. And it'll take a little while for me to synchronize some of my favorite apps to it. And we'll take this for a spin. Okay, and other than that, let's see what else we got in here. We get a nice beefy power adapter. This guy, let's see, yep, 5 volts, so that's nice. It runs off 5 volts, 2 amps, so 10 watts. We have the remote here. So yeah, here's the remote. It's an IR remote. You can kind of see the window right there. Okay, so yeah, just some AAA batteries I'm gonna have to grab and get that situation. Buttons are nice and clicky, actually. I like that. We'll have to see how this works in terms of range and responsiveness when actually clicking a button. We'll see about that in a sec. Very nice addition. A lot of devices I've been getting recently, either buying for myself or for review, don't have HDMI cords included when they use HDMI, which is sort of a no-brainer, but it's nice that they pack one in. And we have the user manual. Just outlines icons and stuff and what all the ports are. Yeah, don't really use user manuals myself. We'll figure it out. So yeah, gonna actually take you guys through the setup of this and basically configuring Android for the first time. You know, a quick run through of it. I'm gonna install some of my favorite apps on here that I'd like to use, and we'll take this for a test drive, so to speak. So let's get to it. Okay, so here we are at my TV. I just plugged this in, and we're gonna give it a quick power on. Now it says boot there when it's booting, obviously, and it pops up here. This is my 4K TV. It's a 55-inch, so we'll definitely get to see how good the image quality is. And yeah, overall, it's taken a little while to boot, but maybe that's just because this is the first time I'm turning it on. And there we go. Looks like we're pretty much in. Well, that wasn't actually that bad. So maybe about, I don't know, 15 seconds. It might be actually quicker once you get into setting this up fully. So it looks like we have to select the language. So I'm going to select English, obviously. Then next. Oh, okay. So we can do overscan and underscan and all that. So you can see I can decrease. I think that's about good. Also, I actually just noticed, yeah, it has a little clock on the front, a little power indicator. It's a whitish blue color. That's actually really nice looking. It looks a bit swamped out on camera, but not in real life. Anyway, once I log into Wi-Fi, I'll get back to you guys. Okay, yeah, so I entered my Wi-Fi, I'm connected. I gotta say, the range is actually pretty good on this. You don't even have to point it at the unit. I just was like, you know, just typing like this. Text input via remote isn't great. I mean, it's doable, but, you know, inputting like a 20 character Wi-Fi password string was kind of tedious. So if you are going to set this up, just grab a USB keyboard. That'll make it so much easier. But afterwards, you can just use the remote. As long as you don't need to enter a lot of text, the remote works just fine. I'm happy with the range, though. Anyway, we're here. We're on step 4, so interface. This is generally the Android interface. I'm guessing this is how the home screen looks. So we'll just go. Local time zone, no, it is not Europe. I'm in the US. Complete. I don't think that really matters. I just will set the time. And yeah, you can see in the lower corner here, my clock says it's 4:29. And this says like 4:30. So that's correct. And on the actual unit itself, you can see the Wi-Fi symbol. Nice. And yeah, it's a military time, obviously, but the clock now is correct. So awesome. So here's, I guess, sort of the home screen. I probably will end up installing like a UI launcher or something like that to to make this look kind of more how tablet screens generally look. But yeah, you can see here we got the Play Store. Gonna have to sign into that, download some apps through that. YouTube, Netflix. One important thing that I read on the site for Netflix, they have a special version installed here. A lot of tablets and smart TVs and whatnot, the Netflix app doesn't work due to copyright reasons. So you could stream from a smartphone to the device, but you can't natively like sign into Netflix on a lot of these TV boxes. But apparently this one, the manufacturer specifically got a special version of it or somehow modified it, I guess. I don't know how, but it will work on this unit. But the important thing is they say don't upgrade or update the Netflix installation here, or don't delete it, because once you do, you'll lose that ability to sign into your Netflix account directly from the box. Looks like we have a lot of other TV applications. We have Cast Play, so I'm guessing I can cast from my phone or tablet to this display. Air screen, yeah, there you go. And yeah, this has a very simplified interface. I like it. Other than that, we have a file browser. That'll be good. I installed on the side a 32 gigabyte micro SD card just to get me started. I'll probably upgrade to a larger memory card or thumb drive later. We have a bunch of utilities. Setup Wizard, I guess that's what we just ran. The interface is really smooth. I'm clicking through this and there's no lag. That's nice. Other than that, we do have voice search. I wonder how that works. If this has a built-in mic, it might actually. And this device is rooted. I did not know that. There's a root browser installed, so that's going to be fun. So I'm going to get to install some really neat stuff in there. Obviously, the remote for this guy works just fine, but I prefer actually having one of these like wireless touchpad remotes. So we'll just plug that in. You can see the mouse cursor just comes up. This is just very easy to use in this case. So anyway, I guess I put some test files on a thumb drive. It's a USB 3.0. This is a 128 gig thumb drive. And so we'll just fire up some test video just to see how it looks, how it works. Now the stock launcher you just saw has basically like, it looks like a smart TV launcher with a lot of quick action. You can actually install Nova Launcher and make it look like a standard, like an Android tablet or a phone. So it's kind of whatever you want to do. So here you can see I have a 32 gigabyte SD card in there, as well as my 128 gig flash drives. Okay, yeah, so we're just gonna select that and we can see it just reads everything as if it's on here. Now, if you saw my, I've done a couple projector reviews, so I just have like standard test images up. These are 1080p, so this is a 4K TV, but it won't actually show the you know, the full capabilities of this box and whatnot, unless if I have 4K content. But you can see even 1080p content is really crystal clear and sharp. So yeah, even just using this with a standard 1080p TV looks really nice. 4K is just the icing on the top of the cake. Beautiful. Just like look at the level of detail, and this is only 1080p too. Wow. Anyway, boring just looking at this. So I on my 4K action cam I actually did a quick time lapse of just me driving around to a local Starbucks, so we can just take a look at the video quality as well. So my preferred video player of choice, it comes with a couple stock ones, but I prefer MX Player. So yeah, you can see that it's a really quick time lapse I took, but that's all in 4K, so should be able to. So if we pause that and go right into the image, this is a bit washed out. I think the camera that I'm using must do something in the time-lapse mode because the video quality is usually quite a bit sharper than this. But we can just play one of my my videos, maybe my channel intro. There we go. And obviously the volume on either the stock remote or this one controls the volume, but yeah, you can see it's playing like a champ. Let's see if we can bring up the bar here. It's hard doing this with one hand. Yeah, looks good to me. It's really quick too, like select a video file, play, and bam, starts up. We can just, there. And I just skipped like to the middle of the video file and it's just instantaneous. Yeah, there you go. So this player has plenty of horsepower. It's a multi-core, I believe a quad-core processor, so pretty much anything you can think to throw at it will work just fine. Anyway, we can just go home. Okay, yeah, so we can just go home here and just take a look at generally what you get. So you have your standard Play Store. I am signed in here, so I'm not gonna log in and show you guys my account and all the information on there. It does have YouTube. I've used the YouTube player and it actually works pretty well. It's a little different than what I'm used to on like a phone YouTube player. I can maybe fire this up real quick and show you guys. Obviously I can't play anything that I don't own the copyright to, but yeah, you can see it starts right up. I'll just do this signed out, and yeah, everything loads up pretty quickly. And just go home. You can install any other app that you'd use with your phone. Pretty much it'll you can use this app, install any APK file it'll accept. You have standard web browsers, galleries, pretty much everything that you could want. Interesting thing that it actually allows you to clean the memory, so that's closing unused apps pretty much. I have opted to install Nova Launcher just because I kind of like the interface of that a bit better. It's closer to when I use my tablet or my phone, how it looks. And I have a couple backgrounds set up for that. Now you can't change this stock loader background, but if you were to use Nova Launcher, you can just go in here and you can see I have my custom background up and running, and this is just like any other phone pretty much by this point. Now to get back, let's see, I'm just gonna hit the home button and that'll allow me to go back to what they call the lean back launcher. But yeah, all in all, this is actually pretty snappy. 1080p videos, absolutely no issue, can skip instantaneously. I don't have any 4K content really, any movies or anything like that, so I haven't really been able to test that, but because this is all using hardware acceleration, I have absolutely no doubts it'll work just fine. Just like any other Android, you can scroll through all your apps. I've just installed just a handful of things that I generally use. Settings, they have their own kind of settings toolbar, which allows like quick adjustments. And if you go into advanced, it'll allow you to actually change just about anything you want, including root switch, and you can power key definitions, audio output. Okay, and here we can actually, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can actually access the standard Android settings menu, and here you can do just about absolutely everything that you'd need to do. So yeah, this is actually really cool. Just exit out of here. I do actually prefer the standard Android interface, so I actually will have the Nova Launcher launch to the standard menu here, so I can just have my apps just set up exactly how I want to with all the icons. It's still navigatable with the D-pad sort of arrow menu, so it's not that inconvenient compared to the standard launcher. But if you're okay with just get in there, if you're okay with the lean back launcher on this guy, this is very simplified, so if you don't want to mess with the configuration too much, this will work just fine. Yeah, anyway, just shut this. You can even screenshot. Interesting. So yeah, the power menu you can access just by pressing and holding the power button. One thing that I wish you could reconfigure is the time is always displayed in like 24-hour time, like military time. You can see here, instead of saying it's 13 instead of saying 1:22 p.m., something like that. I wish you could change that. I haven't seen a way to do so, but it's just a small detail. And I mean, obviously the time still displays correctly, so it's not that big of a deal or anything. So yeah, it's really configurable. Plays video great. I've thrown plenty of videos of it. I watched a couple YouTube videos at full resolution, and I can skip around, plays just fine. Wi-Fi works really well. My router is kind of upstairs on the other side of the house, so not exactly ideal, but I haven't had an issue. You can see it sometimes drops to 2 bars, but quite often than not, it's just working. Right now I don't have Ethernet plugged in, so it's just wireless, and I've been able to stream high resolution video just fine. So anyway, yeah, we'll just shut this guy off. And there we go, it's off. So yeah, this is actually a really small, convenient player to have if you guys don't have a smart TV and you want to have smart TV capability, and even have, beyond that, being able to connect to this and play your videos without any extra devices. It's actually something really good to look into. It's reasonably priced. The performance is really good. I was actually pretty surprised. I've used a couple of Android TV boxes in the past that are, let's just say, underwhelming, and they stutter on 1080p video, and they take quite a while to boot up. This will boot up in like 20 to 30 seconds flat. It can take really large thumb drives. It has USB 3, so you don't have to worry about speed of connection. It takes SD cards. It'll do optical audio out, digital video out. This is sort of a really nice play. Plus, I really like, I can't say enough just how much I like the finish and the design of this. It really does remind me of like a PlayStation 2, and it just feels so nice. Anyway, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll have links to this guy down below, and you can check out the other products as well. So yeah, anyway, if you guys have any questions, put them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.